Hey, what's up? Welcome to episode 9. Thank you so much for joining. So, today I want to talk about something that seems simple, but I think could really change the course of your personal growth. So, have you ever had an exciting idea, something bold, something life changing, and then you shared it with someone close to you, only to immediately regret it? I'm talking about starting a business, going back to school, reinventing your career, launching a creative project, leaving a relationship, starting a relationship, moving to a new place, doing something that on the surface feels out of character, but it is 100% aligned with the woman that you are becoming. We all have those dreams that light us up. We all have those moments where we wonder, okay, this is bold. This is kind of crazy. Am I too old to do this? What will people say? So let me share a quick story. It's not too long ago that I shared a dream with a really close friend of mine. She's someone I've known since elementary school. We're tight. And it was a big deal. It is something that I was excited about, and I still am. Something I knew would stretch me, and something that I knew also felt deeply right for this moment in my life. And her response? She gave me a list of all the reasons why it wouldn't work. She told me what other people had done and how they had failed. She poked holes in my idea. I don't think she meant to crush it. I think she was being realistic and maybe even protective. But I'll be honest, I initially felt kind of upset, maybe a little deflated. And then as she spoke, I got defiant and realized that I had made a mistake. It's not because she was a bad friend, but I'd made a mistake because I hadn't taken care of my own dream. I had shared it with the wrong person, and I didn't even express what I needed from my friend in the moment. I needed her to encourage me, to share possibilities with me, and to believe in me. But even as I list all the things I wanted from her, I realized that that was all my job to do. That conversation taught me a powerful lesson. Every dream has a progression. It has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has an end. And your job is to understand how to take care of your dream throughout that progression as it changes and your confidence in it grows. At the beginning, your job is to take care of this dream and nurture it and protect it because it's so delicate and fragile. And why is that so? It's because your own belief in that dream is so shaky. You don't yet have full confidence in your ability to execute the dream. You have moments that you believe, and then those moments are quickly followed by, I don't know. I know I'm not the only one who can go to bed at night so excited about the possibility of a dream, only to wake up the following morning and think, okay, who was that? Let's keep doing what we're doing. When your own confidence in your ability to do something is so shaky, it's so easy for outside forces, people on the outside, to influence it. That's why it's so fragile. I want you to think about your dreams like seeds. A seed looks nothing like the final product, but it contains all the ingredients to create an entire plant or a whole tree. The seed contains the potential. It contains the potential for something really, really great. But a seed is also fragile. It needs to be nurtured and taken care of. It needs all the right conditions to grow. It needs water, it needs warmth. Sometimes some seeds require some cold and sunlight once that shoot emerges. It also needs protection from the elements because it's so fragile. You don't want it too sunny, you don't want it too windy, you don't want conditions to be too dry, so you just need just enough water. The roots haven't developed yet, and it hasn't had time to grow strong. So let me ask you, when you have a new idea or a new vision for your life, are you careful about who you share it with? Do you think about what stage your dream is in? Some people in your life are really incredible for that middle stage or the final stage when your idea is more fully fleshed out and fully formed. They're the ones who can help you plan, troubleshoot, stay accountable. But those same people may not be the right ones to talk to you when you're at that initial dream stage, the seed stage. That early moment when your dream is most vulnerable, when you're half excited and half terrified and have very low confidence, when you're daring to imagine that something is about to change your whole life, or you're about to embark on this journey that you'll come out of as a completely different person on the other end. And if the first voice you hear in that moment is someone else's fear, you might never ever take the next step and your dream will just stop. So let's talk about a few common mistakes I see all the time in my coaching practice in women in midlife who are stepping into something new. Mistake number one is running away from your dreams. So in the beginning, you have this idea that comes to you. Sometimes the idea is one time, it's really powerful and it's really memorable. Other times, the idea keeps coming back again and again, nagging at you and begging you to pay attention. You think about this dream, and in that moment that you're thinking about it, you're excited, you're inspired, and then you wake up the next day and wonder, who is that imposter that even dared to think of such a thing? Look, life is a series of possibilities or choices at any given time. When we make a decision, we commit to a path and we walk down that road, and then that road suddenly becomes our reality. You choose what you want to do. And even if you're going to argue with me and say that's not always true, sometimes life just happens and it's not your choice, we still choose the kind of experience that we want to have. You know that saying about making lemonade out of lemons? When you get your bag of lemons, you do have a choice of creating lemonade out of it. So it's a mistake to run away from your dreams. Just stop it. At the very least, entertain your dream in your mind before you walk away from it. Ask yourself, what if? How could I start? Who's done it before? What did they do? Sometimes I think about different objects that I bump into, like a zip, a zip for zipping up your pants. Like, how many people thought about the idea of a zip? And how many people bothered to try and make it into reality? And who is the person who eventually did it? I think our dreams are like those things. They're seeds that are planted in our mind, and it's our choice if we want to do anything about it. I'm not saying that your ideas are going to lead to some massive invention. And that's not what we're trying to do, is do something that's going to influence the entire world and civilization. Like, that's not it. I'm talking about things that come to you that are changes and improvements that you can make on yourself, on your experience on earth. They deserve a shot to be heard out, if only in your mind. Just go through the exercise of asking yourself, what if, and playing it all the way through before you run away from the entire thing. Mistake number two, early excitement and oversharing. So we get excited, we have this dream, and we want to tell everybody before we fully own the dream ourselves, before we fully develop some level of confidence about this dream within ourselves. When we expose our dreams too early to people and we overshare, we end up with several unwanted thoughts. Number one, we get too many opinions, too many what ifs, and not enough direction and clarity. Or we can get a bag full of negative feedback that psychs us out of our own dreams. This is no different from exposing your little growing plant to strong element. Too much sun, too much wind, too much rain. Either don't do it or limit the amount of people you tell. One thing you can ask yourself is, why do you want to share that information about your dreams in the first place? You will often find that you're probably looking for some type of approval or validation. You want to hear, that's a great idea. And maybe you also want to hear, I can totally see you doing that thing. But the thing is, you need to be telling yourself those things. When you're not confident, you need to be developing the skill of being confident. You need to validate yourself. You need to approve yourself. We shouldn't be outsourcing that skill to our friends and our mentors. Okay, so you've gone ahead and ignored mistake number two, and you've shared and told your friends and mentors, and you didn't get the responses you wanted so well. You didn't get the kind of feedback that you were hoping for. My advice is this: before you share anything with friends or mentors when it comes to those dreams that are at the beginning stages, ask yourself, what outcome are you looking for in that conversation? What do you want from your friends or your mentor? And once you figure out what you want from them, ask for it. Maybe the conversation can go like this: hey, I'm excited about this thing that I want to do. I'm not looking for advice. I just need encouragement. Or maybe the conversation can go like this: I need someone to believe in me just for 5 minutes while I'm finding my footing. I've had many of those kind of conversations before where I just call my friend and I'm like, just remind me why I'm doing this again. And there's some friends I have that are really good cheerleaders and some that are just terrible. When I think about the conversation that I had with my friend earlier, I think this is the main mistake that I made. I didn't give her a job to do in that conversation. I didn't tell her that this is what I need you to do. I made the mistake of assuming that she would know how to respond, that she would know what my emotional needs are in those moments. We do this all the time. We assume people are mind readers, but you've got to coach your support system sometimes. You've got to tell them what you're looking for emotionally sometimes, especially when you're vulnerable, like in those early stages of your dream. Don't assume that people know how to support you. It doesn't always end well. Mistake number 4: comparing your beginning to someone else's end. This one is huge. A lot of women I coach judge their progress inappropriately. I do that too, and I have to catch myself. You're just starting something new. You can't compare yourself to someone who has been doing it for a long time. And even worse, you can't come around and tell yourself how much you suck when you do that. But that's what we do. We like to plant a seed today and then wake up the next day and get really upset because that seed hasn't become the tree overnight. Don't do that. That's not fair. Growth has a beginning, middle, and end. If I had a class that asked people to repeat that, growth has a transition. Your dreams have a transition, a start, a middle, and an end. And each stage requires something different. It has different expectations, it has different goals. If you're in the beginning stage, your job is to start, not to be perfect. Comparing your beginning to someone else's mastery is just not fair. In fact, it's unkind. And it's a sure way to kill your dreams dead, or at least make you really miserable the entire time you're trying to accomplish your goals. This is a time when you have those thoughts that I'm not good enough. It's a waste of time to compare yourself to someone who's mastered the thing. And it sucks the energy out of you and it just makes you absolutely miserable, period. All right. So we've talked about common mistakes that people make when they're going through their dreams. I want to leave you on a positive note. What are some things that you can do to nurture your dreams at those beginning stages? The truth is, not everyone in your life can handle your growth and personal transformation. Some people are only familiar with the older version of you, the one who stayed quiet, the one who kept the peace, the one who didn't take risks. They may not know how to cheer and support this new version of you that you're becoming. And that's okay. You're allowed to outgrow your relationships, right? You can outgrow those relationships that can only understand you in your old version. Find your new people, join a community, join a group of people who are doing the thing that you want to do. Read a book, find a podcast, look for the people who've done it before, or connect with a coach and get one on one personal support. You don't need hundreds of people in your corner supporting you. You just need a few people who can see what you see, who see and understand your vision and what you're trying to create. You need a handful of people who believe in you. You need a small group of people who believe in that version of you that you're trying to create, especially when you're struggling to believe it yourself constantly. Until you build that confidence, it's hard to consistently believe in that version because you're still your old you as you're thinking that way. And you don't have enough examples of what that future self is doing because you're not doing it yet. That's why connecting yourself to people who are a few steps ahead of you and also far ahead of you at the end where you're trying to ultimately get to is so helpful. It keeps hope alive in you when you can't do it for yourself. Okay, the final thing I want to offer is this: you don't have to wait until you feel ready to start. I've said it before. You must practice taking action. Note, I said the word practice. You don't have to be perfect to practice. When you practice something, there's an expectation that you might just fall flat on your face. And when you do, you get to evaluate it and learn from what you did and learn how to do it better. If you keep practicing, there's an expectation that you can get better over time. So don't stay in the beginning stages of your dream forever because you're too afraid to look silly, to look messy, to look confused. Just start. And yes, it may be a little awkward, it may feel very uncertain, and it'll definitely look messy. But the end of all those attempts to take action over and over again, the final thing will be so worth it. So let me ask you, what dream are you sitting on right now? Who have you told about it? How did they respond? And more importantly, who do you want to tell? Who can hold that dream for you? If you don't have that person yet, let's change that. Because this is what I do. I am a life and mindset coach, and I help women transform. I help women build the exact version of themselves that they secretly long for. We go after our dreams in my coaching practice. We mess up and we learn and we keep getting better until we finally create the version of ourselves that we want. If you're ready to move from dreaming to doing, but you're not sure where to start, let's talk. You don't have to do this by yourself. DM me on Instagram or send me an email. I'd love to hear what you're working on and how I can help you figure out your next step. All the links and my email address is available on my show notes. I hope this episode was helpful. That's all for today. Until next time, take care.